Welcome to the Great People Podcast, episode 24.
Welcome to the Great People Podcast, where topics that people expect to be black and white are discussed by going into the gray areas. And now, your trio of hosts, Sebastian Zuniga, Reina Rivera, and Randy Felice.
Welcome everybody to Great People Podcast episode 24.
Yeah.
24 episodes. Today will also be known as the grand finale, the season ending episode 24. Everybody here is going to be doing the show as four. I think it's been a while since that, right? Since
Yeah.
four.
It's been a few episodes.
It's been a few episodes since us four. And today's topic is going to be texting and driving, also known as texting while driving. I thought that was funny to find out that it's also texting while driving.
Motherfuckers.
And we're going to discuss a couple different things about it. It came to our attention. Obviously, we know texting and driving, we've heard a lot of things about it. But lately, where we currently live, they have this initiative going on right now to basically go after, I guess you would say, the people that text and drive. So first and foremost, let me ask you guys, when I say text and driving, what comes to your mind first? Guys, answer that. And then I want some accountability. Do you text and drive? So first and foremost, Reina, when you hear texting and driving, what comes to your mind? First thing.
You're driving and you're writing a full blown out text message.
A full blown.
So you hear text and drive and you don't think like just a quick okay. You feel you hear someone's writing.
That's
out.
what Reina's feeling.
I feel
Yeah.
like
And
it's
that's fine.
more than one word.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I feel
So
like
actual
Randy
texting.
has mastered the ability to just
Master the ability.
Okay.
So first and
to
foremost,
just say
first
okay
and
without
foremost,
looking.
We might have police at the end of the episode.
He's like,
No,
What?
what she means is I do the
What?
I do the K
What?
and send
Yeah.
it.
But
Okay.
if you're like responding to someone like with a full sentence, and I mean
Okay.
I feel like you're holding your phone.
So then
Whatever.
okay, so the accountability question is, do you text and drive, Reina?
I barely drive, so no.
So you don't. And when you
She's
drive,
like-
you never text. You
No.
never look at social media.
Mm-mm.
You don't put on the GPS
Nope.
in the middle of the road.
She's like, barely.
No, you just drive.
I just drive.
Thank
For
you.
me, when I
What
hear
about you,
Well, thank
Reina?
God, Ren, I've seen you drive. And I think you're texting half the time.
when I
no,
hear
I'm not.
when I hear text and drive or texting and driving, I hear I just picture it. I don't know why, but young people like distraction. Like you know what I mean? It just like feel like it's like a youngin thing. Like it's not like.
He's trying to take away the heat from him. He's
No,
like, it's
no,
only young people.
No, I've done it too. I do it too.
There's
no, but
the
what I'm saying
accountability
is,
part.
I don't feel like it's. I don't know. Like if I hear texting and driving, it's us, the young generation that can't wait 5 seconds, and we got to respond, and we got to be on top of everything.
Mhm.
I don't see an 84-year-old.
Well, that would be scary if an 84-year-old was texting.
Exactly,
Or
and that's why.
driving.
And
Or
that's
dri-
why I
or
say it. That's what I'm
Nah,
saying.
man,
Like, for me.
I've seen some people in the 80s that could drive. Shout out to those
80.
people. 8 decades in the game.
Dang.
No, but that's what I mean. I hear like young, like quote unquote stupid kids being distracted.
So when you hear texting and driving, you're like, I'm thinking stupid kids texting and driving. So what about you?
Because we know the
You
risk.
text and you drive?
I've done it.
Stupid
yeah.
kid.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I know the risk. Like, I was
I
telling.
get
Why do you do it?
I think it's just again like it's for me. I was telling Sean about this right before we started. I think it's.
He had
The
he
road
had a
is-
confession.
He said the road is mine, and I give 2 fucks
feel like
about
this
anybody
is-
else on
I
it.
pay
It's
my-
turning
I pay
into
my
an
taxes too,
intervention.
motherfucker.
No. What I
This
mean
is turning
is.
into intervention.
No. I honestly feel like it's the regulation behind it. For example, you get pulled over texting and driving. You're looking at $150, maybe $175 ticket. You get pulled over drinking and driving, and that's thousands of dollars. So, in comparison, I feel like I'm one to be like, oh, I'm never drinking and driving. But
But
I'm like,
texting and
oh,
driving's not
I
bad.
shouldn't. It's like I shouldn't do it. Like I know I shouldn't do it. I know the risks, but then it's like, just real quick. No one's, you know what I mean? It's
But
just
it's
like,
not just
So now
real
we
quick.
know you break the law, but not as much.
no. I'm
He
saying
breaks
like,
what he can afford.
Perfect. There you go.
I'm saying that I think everybody would change real quick if all of a sudden the fines for texting and driving were $10,000 in jail time.
Or
People
you
will
hit
get-
someone.
And I'm telling you, I'm thinking we're gonna get there someday if
Yeah.
it happens. But I'll explain that. What about you, Sean? What do you initially think when you hear texting and driving? What's that first thought when you hear somebody texting while driving, texting and driving? What's that first thing that comes to your mind?
Someone's gonna fuck up. I've seen too many times where like I'm driving next to somebody and they're texting or whatever, too many times, I swear, and they go right over like the island.
Have you
or whatever,
seen when they do
and
that?
they hit the pole, and they keep driving like nothing happened.
Have you seen when they do the corrections where they're like,
Oh yeah. No, but no, for real. Like I seen this happen.
It sucks.
Texting.
It sucks to know that
Hit
people
something.
have their eyes on their phone and Sean has his eyes on the pen
I know.
while they're driving.
Well, you know-
I don't know what the. Hey man, stop texting.
I bet-
I'm not watching you. Oh shit.
Well, no, like I glance over because you know it's dark and you can see like the light, whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, obviously they're texting.
you know,
And then you glance over again, and all of a sudden you hear this, this pop, and
you
you're
should
like,
call
oh
that
shit.
secondhand texting and driving or something. I don't know. Too
You know what's
distracted
interesting
driving.
is-
That's me not minding my damn business.
But hold up. So then, Sean. So the accountability piece. Have you texted and drive? Do you text and drive?
I have, and I don't.
I feel
really.
like you use this Siri though a lot, don't
Yeah,
you?
I
Hey,
do.
Siri.
Because my car has the Bluetooth thing, so I'm like, hey, call this or
That's good.
do this. So
How about you? What do you do?
yeah, motherfucker.
I have texted and driven. You know, it's not nothing I'm proud of. You know, it's not good. First thing I think texting and driving, I'm thinking should stop. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Texting and driving should stop. That's my initial thought.
Yep.
So now we're gonna get deeper into this conversation because I just wanted to get the initial portion to see how people feel.
Oh, you
Now-
just want to put us on the spot in front of all of our
Yeah,
listeners.
I just wanted to know. You know, so
The
You're
Great
not.
People
You're not. You're
Podcast.
not alone.
Speak for yourself. I
So-
don't even drive, so
Great
So-
People Podcast has a bunch of irresponsible
a bunch of
motherfuckers.
irresponsible people.
Raina's 85 years old and she does not drive.
So this is where we're gonna open the discussion. I want to talk a little bit more about it. So texting and driving, people initially think texting and driving. It's more than just texting. It could be emailing, Randy.
Liking
you know,
a photo.
distraction. There's multiple
Check it
things.
out. Because
Changing songs.
I was looking at it, and this is some of the main things that they said lead to accidents, and that people look at when they look at accidents that were created by distractions. So phones, number one, probably like
Correct.
electronic
It's gotta
devices.
be.
Reading and writing, I thought that was pretty crazy.
That's
like
crazy.
who is
yeah.
reading and writing?
You'll be surprised. I've seen people like
People-
with a little pen and
People
paper
eat,
writing while they
people
drive.
eat.
Reaching for an object other than their phone. So if something fell on the floor
Correct.
or they're grabbing something. Using
what
the
is that
touch screen in the car, so like the GPS or other technology in your car. And then one that I thought was interesting was
Cooking.
kind of what Sean was talking
Oh.
about, the distractions on things outside of the car. So for example, there's an accident and you take your eyes off the road to see like who got hurt or whatever.
And you make an accident yourself.
Or distractions by people in the car. So sometimes your
Backseat-
shotgun
backseat
or the
drivers,
back seat
yeah.
or dogs and things like that. The other one, fatigue, and I think we know that one. You know, people being tired and driving.
I have been a victim of that.
Yes, but the last one, and this one was one that I think is interesting, is driving while you're angry, sad, crying, or highly emotional. Is
Also
considered to
known
be a
as
distraction.
Drake driving.
No, but it's considered to be a distraction while driving, and it's interesting to kind of see, like, you know, I think people hear, like, oh, he was distracted, so he hit somebody. We think automatically, oh, that motherfucker was on the phone.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I get
but
you.
but Sean watching other people drive while being on the phone.
He's like, it's just as
go
bad.
Ahead, I'll go ahead and say, obviously, those are all things that will cause an accident. You know,
Yeah.
drinking and driving.
But the
fatigue.
biggest one,
So the-
phones.
The biggest one's gonna be
hands
phones.
down.
I'm gonna toss it, and the reason why I think we discussed it on this episode is because out of all those other things that you can stop, maybe those aren't as frequent, and the most frequent one
Is your
frequent one
Yeah.
will be the phone. So we go back to the point that is okay. Let's say texting and driving, email on your phone. There's people that play games, people that are looking at social media,
Doing live while driving.
live whatever, going through music, anything you do. Because so this is what we're going to talk about now. So currently where we live, and it's been happening a lot of different cities in the United States, but where we live in the state of Utah, we've discussed that we live in Salt Lake City. They did this a couple weeks back, where they ended up having some vans drive down the freeway. And then they'd have like one police officer driving, and they'd have 3 police officers in the back of the van looking around that van, like 360, multiple vans going on the freeway. And since they have a higher view, since they're higher, they would look down at cars and people that were texting and driving, and they pull them over and they give them a $150 ticket, basically to begin with.
Do you know if there was anything other than like phones? Just wondering if they were looking at people like playing with their dogs or
I know that this initiative was purely for anything that was done on phones.
like
I
electronic
didn't read
devices.
it,
Okay, no.
anything more, and I did personally speak to a police officer about it, where so anybody on the phone, so what they call it is, and then it's also on the news here locally. There's an NBC affiliate called KSL where you could look it up,
Yeah.
where they talk about it, where the police officer said anything that's manipulation of your phone, which means anything beyond one touch. So if you have, let's say, your phone on a GPS stand, then you can set the GPS before you leave your location, and then it should take you there. But if, let's say, you need to pick up a call, manipulating the phone would be answering your touch screen or your phone.
Well, that will be okay.
That's okay.
One touch is okay.
One touch is gonna be okay because they understand I'm sure that there's gonna be like, not cell phone companies, but some sort of thing legislative that's gonna be like, well, people still need to touch their phones one way or another. You need to pick up the
Someone
phone.
needs
Whatever
their
it is.
money.
Exactly. Bottom line, somebody probably needs to get paid. So yeah, but the manipulation is anything beyond one touch. So pick up phone call, end a phone call,
Skip a song.
skip one song. That's it. Anything beyond that, it's complete manipulation of your phone, which you get distracted. Now the facts that this police officer told me, and that I also read about, that were incredible. It also made me want to even test this out, and it seems crazy. We believe that we text and drive, and that it's a second.
It's quick.
And I try to do it not while I was driving, but I try to do it looking at my phone. Where let's say you look at a message, and I just looked at a text message, and I looked down to try to read it, and I looked up. So I just say look down and look up, and then you would not read that whole message. So average time is about 4 to 5 seconds that it takes you to read a message, and you thought that you only spent 1 second on that message.
And interesting, talking about like the seconds. I was reading on some stuff on some of the studies that were done with texting and driving, and they determined that being distracted or taking your eyes off the road for up to 3 seconds was like manageable. But anytime you go above that 4, and people that got in accidents and things like that, honestly, the average was between 4 and 6 seconds. So it's interesting.
Well, that was depending on how fast you're going too.
So this is.
I'm saying all that comes into factor, but they say like if you take your eyes off the road for like 1 to 3 seconds, you're probably okay. Meaning like that's not where most accidents happen.
Correct.
Most accidents happen between 4 and 6 seconds of distraction.
Which obviously is all horrible. When you bring that up. So the next thing in the study said, so it's about 5 seconds that takes you to read a text or message really fast a text. You think you're good, but it's about 5 seconds. 5 seconds at 55 miles an hour, which was taking in consideration freeway speeds and below freeway speeds to give you an average. So, people on the freeway, people driving in a fast street. Here in Utah, we have something, Bangerter, which is kind of like midway kind of a freeway, more of an expressway. In 5 seconds, you travel the length of a football field.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That's what it is in 5 seconds.
Yep.
And in 5 seconds, you travel a football field, like they said. That's the distance when you look at it. And they had people test it out where basically they have different markers, and people are driving and they look, and all of a sudden you've passed a complete football field in 5 seconds while you sat on a text. And like I said, if a car pops out in front of you, of a child, of a person, this and that, chances of you being able to stop, it's going to be very hard. Right now, I think they said in the country, I think it's about 20% of the accidents are solely off like phone manipulation.
Yeah, and I was reading, and this one, the last one that I was looking at to kind of, I guess, quote it. New Virginia Tech Research is the one that did it. They published it in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science or Sciences, and that's where they posted a lot of the stuff that I was reading on. But yeah, like they said, as far as accidents go, 68% of more than 900 crashes that they looked at were mainly like those few seconds before like something happened was mainly because of distractions. And like you said, and I think the what you quoted with the about 20%, it was highway accidents or freeway.
It's like a freeway, highway.
So 20% of accidents in the freeway, and you can imagine how fatal those can be.
Oh, and that's the thing, like they said, the accident and the fatality level, I think it rates to like 60-70% when it is like manipulation of your phone. So you get in the accident, but the chances it gets pretty high. Now, what I thought was interesting about that, so they're pulling over people here. That's what they were doing. They gave them a $150 ticket. I think they gave like 125 people tickets that day. So
in that one day.
In that one day alone, it was a Thursday. It wasn't even a super busy weekend day. It was also on a Thursday. It was 2 Thursdays ago. They pulled over people and they're like, "Here's your $150 ticket. This is a warning." And then after 5 days, it was going to jump up a ridiculous amount, if not taken care of. So, and it's going to be implemented different times within the summer. To try to get people to stop doing that. Obviously, it sends a message to the community, hey, don't text and drive, this and that could happen.
We ain't fucking around.
So, first and foremost...
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Do you guys know anybody who's been in an accident due to that?
Yes.
Texting and driving?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know anybody, at least not that's been confirmed. Like, I think you have your suspicions when someone says, like, oh, like, it came out of nowhere, or... like, I swear, like, it wasn't there, and then it was there, and like, you kind of have your suspicions. You think
that's true.
Well, you were on your phone.
So now that we discussed that a little bit, because we're going to continue that conversation. It's going to get maybe a little more interesting. But what do you guys think about that? As far as, let's say, you're driving down the road, you just picked up your phone, all of a sudden a van, you had no idea it's that van, pulls you over, lights come, and Sean, boom, $150 ticket, man. How you feeling initially at that moment?
I'd be like, damn, I could have killed somebody.
Are you really feeling that? Or are you like, damn, you're killing my pockets,
So
man?
it's a reality check for
yeah,
you?
the person gonna kill is me.
Tell you what, why don't you just pull me over and run me through?
I'd be like, a couple more fucking lights and shit. I would have been at the fucking state fucking center at the courthouse. Y'all could just shoot my ass there because I ain't gonna pay this motherfucking ticket.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
How would you guys feel? Let's say in your case right now, you say you don't drive as much. You're with Randy in the car. He shouldn't be honestly texting and driving. If there's somebody else, we're gonna talk about this real fast. This is one thing that I saw that it said like the way they want to approach texting and driving nowadays is almost if you were drinking and driving in the sense like where it's almost like a vice, como un vicio, like something like I just have to do it, because we go back to what Randy said earlier of I have to answer back, or we're so into our phones that like, man, I got a message, and you see it on the dash, you're like, man, I gotta answer, just where it could be like plans have been broken, fuck you, man, and I could kill myself literally on this road.
Well, I know where those would be coming from.
So quick question. You're like, police officer, get to his house and give him a ticket.
He's the cause of this.
He's the cause of this. So they were saying that us as friends, family members,
should text
anything,
for him?
we should. That would be the technical thing to do texting. We should take also accountability and be like, if I know somebody's driving, don't send them a message.
Or
if I'm in the car with them, tell them don't drive. Like Sean's told me like, hey, don't text. I meant like don't text.
I tell Randy all the time, and then I grab his phone and I try to text the person.
And that's when he loses it.
No, like, he gets so particular. I don't ever put those emojis.
no, because
I never say bro. I'm like, damn, I don't know.
Give
I'm
him his
just
phone. That's a worse distraction. Let me see those emojis, damn it.
no. What I'm saying is that I would tell her what to text, but then she'll read back what she wrote.
Hey,
I'm like,
it's
that's not me. She'll be like,
She's like, hugs and kisses. What? No.
it's like, love you, bye.
Give me the fucking phone or I'm going to turn this bitch around.
No, but I'll tell you this.
Or your dad.
Reina does send a lot of my texts when we're like together in the car, but to the same thing
Thanks
that you
for
were
telling
saying.
me now, Randy.
Yeah. To the same thing that you were saying as far as like family members, and one of the ways that they say that it could be kind of like prevented or that we could get better, one, of course, if you know they're driving, don't text them, but two, I think it's setting up the expectations of like, dude, I can wait, you know what I mean?
Correct.
Because I think everything lately, everything is so urgent, and so-and-so texted me like, oh, let me,
Correct.
and if it's really urgent, pull over.
And that's what they said, and I know they've done studies where they said, and they grab people from, like driving wise, anybody from 16, I think it was like to 30, 35, and they said, when they get a message, I think it was like 67% of people like, I have to message them within a minute, and I think the rest was like, I got a message within 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, and
where people feel like, yo, I have to do it. Great example. Do you need a message?
I saw it light
Stop
up.
the
I'm
show! I need a message. It's the police
but-
officer.
No, but it's
$50.
it's interesting that I think it's just that whole like again, and that's why I said like when I hear texting and driving, I think it's like a generational thing. And of course,
what do we compare it to? Like, what do you compare that feeling of having to do it right then and now?
They said it's like
what?
an anxiety, like a need to. Is from what I was reading, and I get it.
And it goes into like the whole. I don't want anybody to think I don't want to talk to you, or I'm too busy
That's
for
a good
you.
example from
Maybe-
yesterday when
Maybe that's
Janet texted me, our friend Janet of the show,
and then
Sean's
she
girlfriend.
threw it out on the on your Instagram.
She
I
put
saw
my shit
that
like
shit.
no text back. I'm like, damn, it
I
literally was like 2 seconds.
I got on it. I tried to like it, and I'm instigated over here.
No, but
Hold up. What happened?
So she texted me something, and then I posted a picture on Instagram at the same exact
Janet's
time. Like,
but I don't get no text.
yeah,
back.
and then she
I
commented
was-
on my picture. She's like, no text back, and I'm like,
So
dude,
I'm-
I literally just took this picture, posted it, and I
it's-
texted you.
And it's funny how human beings.
Was she driving?
I don't know what she was doing, but I
It's
thought it was
funny,
funny because it
like,
was so fast.
It's funny that you bring that up because that's how human beings are. Like, I didn't talk to you, and I obviously didn't talk to Janet. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I'm scrolling through my stuff, and I see your photo, and I read a couple comments, the ones that are available to see. So I read it, and she's like, "But no text back." I was like, "Yeah, text it back."
no, but
You don't help out. But
I think
yeah.
it's just that. I think
Janet Petty.
we
Janet Petty.
we feel the need to like address it right away, or I don't want Sebastian to think I'm ignoring him
for
so-
whatever reason that might
Which
be.
is, yeah, like,
like
think,
I said, we don't know. Go ahead, Sean. But
I think the person that has the best control of that though, off of this table, would be Sebastian.
Sebastian
yeah.
doesn't even respond to calls.
Calls, texts, emails, Instagram.
I've lost
whatever.
opportunities like that.
Knocks on doors.
Like,
I've been like in the
I'm
same
saving
place.
my life. I'm saving lives out here.
I've been in the
He's
same
like,
place.
in my room.
I've been in the same place as Sebastian, and I've sent him a text. Let's say that I'm like in, I don't know, let's say like a public place, right? Like I'm at the mall, I'm in a store, he's in the back of the store, and I know he's there with me. I've texted him, I'm not gonna respond from Sebastian.
You're like,
or call him, I'm not gonna respond from Sebastian. So I think he will have a lot of self control.
the only time is when you know he's in the bathroom or something. You're like, hey man, you okay? Yeah man, I'm good.
I'm handling this. So okay, but I want an answer out of that example. Like I asked Sean, say you're riding shotgun, you're next to Randy.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his phone. You told him, Randy, please don't text or whatever it is.
It's
He
literally
gets
what I
pulled
say.
over and $150 ticket.
I'm
right there.
like, in your face. That's what you deserve.
How would you feel,
After
Randy,
so many
about it?
times of telling you not to do it.
I would say, well, we're paying this from your check, right?
Hell no.
So,
I'm about to
because
eat
you don't know
out
how
every
to
day.
He's like, you don't know how to text the shit that I want you to text. Officer gave her a ticket.
And then ask Siri, okay?
I don't know what's worse,
wait,
the
hold on.
$150 ticket or the speech I'm about to get.
yeah, I told you so.
Officer, can you stick around just in case it gets crazy?
I will
Officer,
be.
can you take her home?
That's when I turn into, I told you so.
Okay.
No, yeah.
I
So-
just don't understand.
and this is so now we're gonna take it to the next level because we've noticed that obviously we've all admitted that texting and driving shouldn't be the thing,
Whoa.
right? Not that we've done it, but we all have said that we shouldn't, and we've all agreed that texting and driving shouldn't be the thing, right? Distractions in general shouldn't be the thing, and we understand that right now the police in different parts of the country are trying to make initiatives so people stop driving. Now we do get conversations
Stop
outside.
texting and driving.
Stop texting and driving.
Stop driving, motherfuckers. Public
Stop driving.
transportation.
My bad. They want us to stop texting and driving. Now, just like the articles I read, a lot of people were like, the police just looking to make $1. And you could get into those conversations.
Yeah.
But that's another thing for another day. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Where I kept on reading, and there's companies that what they want to do now is in their apps, like basically, let's say
Your
whatever
car
company
insurance.
you might have, without dropping any names of companies, your car insurance, basically is like, hey, you have to download this app. This is, part of your policy, whatever it is. And they track you just like your motion on your phone or whatever. And they track if you're, certain speeds, maybe 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, whatever it is. And if they notice motion on your phone of you texting, then your premium goes up. So that's where
That's crazy.
we've all agreed that texting and driving is not right. We've spoken to Randy about this off camera, and he says he'll text and drive to the day he dies before. He's like, he'll text his insurance company while he's driving.
I'm like, it goes.
Listen here, big brother.
In terms of rights, it goes freedom of speech and freedom to text, motherfucker.
So
kidding,
Randy,
just kidding.
I want to get everybody's thoughts. So now that we've all agreed, remember on this table that texting and driving is bad and distractions. But how do you personally feel about if you had a letter come from your insurance beginning of the year says, hey, download this app, it's part of your policy. If you text and drive over 10, 15 miles an hour, your premium goes up by
So
25%.
here's the thing: knowing
25%.
No, I'm throwing numbers. I don't work for none of these
some number.
companies.
Maybe they give you
All of a sudden, at the end of the
2%
year,
increase.
Seabass got a job at
We get sponsored by Allstate.
No. So going back into the whole thing, I think what it boils down to, and just knowing how America works and the like the big company. No, I'm saying
Magic?
like in general. No, because
Nah, I
I'm saying
get you.
all these we pay all these insurance premiums. I pay over, let's say, over $1,000 a year for insurance, right? And it's way over that with the
Correct.
amount of cars and drivers we have in this house. But the moment I get in a little fender bender, the motherfuckers don't want to pay. They're quick to charge, but they don't want to pay. So in a way that drives that, you don't trust it. You just think automatically you just want to get more money from me.
Yep.
And then in the end, I'm going to get the shitty ass service that I always get. When I get in an accident or something, now you're looking for reasons not to pay. Like,
I know a place where they could save
But-
15% or less under 15
Oh my
minutes.
No. So going into that, I would be okay if they want to impose a penalty based on the behavior, but at the same time, then it needs to go the opposite way as well. If I don't text and drive when my app is on or whatever you want to call it, then drop my insurance premium and keep dropping it, because I'm sure you're not going to put a cap on the increase either.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not going to put a cap on the increase, then don't put a cap on the
Because I know
decrease.
for damn sure you're making money on those people that
Exactly.
are doing it.
Exactly.
So, okay. Because it
I just
looks
wanna-
like you guys need a quote right now.
Well, no, because I look at
Geico.
I look at it like this too. What if I'm in the fucking passenger seat? What if I'm drunk and my girl driving? but it's my car. They can tell whatever the fuck with the app.
Very
I'm in the
interesting.
fucking passenger seat.
You know-
we're going 60
you know
miles
what's
an hour,
interesting
and all of a
is
sudden, Sean, you're fucking texting.
going
No,
to that
motherfucker,
shit-
I'm drunk. Actually,
Before
I'm
you
in
say that,
Texas.
Randy.
Yeah, no.
Or go ahead.
I just wanted to add, going to that, that's actually one of the things that people argue when they've said, for example, all these studies have been done and said all these accidents, this many happened while you were on your phone or whatever. That's the argument, is there is no blood test. There's nothing to really prove that you were
Correct.
on your phone. So, then you run into that. That's
So,
A glitch.
because I'm pretty sure you guys are aware, and if not, because for some reason, I never put two and two together, but at the moment in time, if you were to get pulled over and get a ticket, let's say for running a stop sign, whatever it is, and that could or could not affect, like there could be forgiveness on one ticket. Some companies do like accident forgiveness,
Yeah.
or
overall
a citation,
history,
whatever, overall history. Any company right now, if you get a ticket and the ticket says texting while driving, your premium goes up. That's
That's
plain simple.
right.
At this point, what I read is that they'd like to get, like, I don't know if these companies get together, whatever it is, but somehow implement where they already know if you're texting and driving. Because at this point, it's just like, if right now, you're driving, Sean's driving, he gets pulled over, and the officer is like, you got this ticket
Sean was
because you were
driving.
texting while driving, that gets reported to your insurance
I'd be like,
company.
did you have a video of that? Because I don't trust you, motherfucker.
He's like, yo, just put it, I kill somebody, man. Don't put that texting and driving. The rates, man, the rates.
No, but that would be
So
my
I thought
overall
that was
thing.
interesting.
No, that would be my overall thing. I'm okay if you want to say, you know what, even as a fucking passenger, fine. As long as I'm in a car and the car is moving, no distractions, right? Because maybe it distracts the driver. I don't know. I'm okay with that. Let's talk about the positives. You know what I mean? If you're gonna penalize me when I go,
So you're basically saying, let's say you don't, for a whole year, you don't get a ticket, or they notice that,
No,
not
like
ticket,
the
they
text and
notice
drive.
that you don't text and drive, then hey, drop some
yeah,
of
the
my
same
premium.
percentage. If you're gonna increase my premium by
The
2%, by 2%, and I can only imagine if
we
I
know
keep,
that's you're dreaming a lot there for them to be like, but,
Yeah.
but I
well,
get what you're saying.
2% on $1,000
It's
adds
good.
up.
But you know what this sounds like? This sounds like what we typically do at work. The people that want to call in and be like,
I'm good. I'm paying.
remove my late fee, blah blah. And then the people that want to call in is like, oh, like,
No,
I
but
I don't get anything for paying on time.
No, but I
No,
can tell
you're
you-
doing what you're supposed to do. So I guess
No, but
in your
hold on.
ways, like,
Even on
you want to
that.
get.
No, but
Right,
even
right,
on
yeah.
that example, you
No,
do
but,
get
but
something.
you want to get something for doing what you're supposed to be
but
doing,
hold on.
which is not.
I
text-
like that,
No,
Ray.
no, no,
You know what I
but
mean?
Here's the thing.
This man got to stop texting and driving. It's a sickness, man. That's a sickness.
here's
He'll
the
be
thing.
calling that customer service number.
I haven't touched nobody my whole life.
But let's really break it down, because we're quick to forget. What you get as a consumer, let's say you have a credit card and you're not paying late, you do get perks for that reason. You could
like,
get
you
your
get an
rates.
account
No,
open.
I'm saying you
what a
could
bigger
get.
perk than being alive.
No, I'm saying you could get credit line increases, which allows
I
you
get
more
you.
use. You could get lower rates in the future. You could get promotional offers for being a good customer. There is
Oh
things.
shit!
That must be the insurance right now. The rates are going up on this combo.
No, but there,
we-
no.
Hold on.
There,
Really?
there is things that you get for being a good customer. Now, of course, when you're calling and you want a fee adjusted, you don't think of all the other perks you get. You think about this
course.
one that you're not getting, and that's what everything's about. But I'm saying, if you want to tax me for driving while I'm
I'm
distracted,
pulling this up. Continue.
then the same way, let's say whatever the percentage is, 10%, fine. I'll accept the 10% increase when I do it. And I'm sure if I next year I do it again, you're gonna increase it another 10%. And if I keep doing it, you're gonna keep increasing it. So then something like that gotta be on the opposite side, where you drop it,
I
maybe
agree.
not 10%,
I agree with
maybe
the
5%.
balance, but in the overall thought and the overall picture, it is what it is. Like you're looking to get, what is it? You're looking to get praised for doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Like you shouldn't be
I don't
texting at
know.
all.
I'm kind of with both of y'all, because there's some insurance companies where they give you money for not getting an accident
Like
for
I,
a year.
like I
No, no.
Things
personally,
like that.
like I personally
Can we
get-
name some
I
so they can
personally-
sponsor this?
Progressive has an actual thing saying that. No, I'm saying
Randy,
they have
Randy
the
gotta
little.
be the
No,
one
it's true.
saying it.
No,
I'm
it's
saying
true.
they have the
No,
little
wait.
thing you put in your car, and they're supposed to help
I
you with
have,
your.
Yeah, that's very outdated. Now
I
it's
get,
apps.
I get, are you in good hands? No, I get,
that guy
I don't
does.
get that, but I get, accident forgiveness. Like
Yeah.
I paid on time and I didn't get in an accident for like a year. So if I were to get on one, they
They'll
forgive
ignore
it
it.
as far as my premium won't go up, but that damn deductible is still the same.
No. So that's what I mean. I think, and again, it probably won't be the same drop, but I'm saying consider it, right? Because you're getting money from all these other consumers
Yeah.
that are doing
Just-
it.
okay,
So then,
I get you.
then help me.
What do you feel,
Help
Sean?
me help you.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
This is how I feel. I agree with everything that we're saying, but here's the thing.
Me too, buddy.
This is what I think. What if all of a sudden the world became perfect, and nobody was texting and driving, and we all got these rewards, then the insurances are going to be out of business,
Great,
right?
because there
Yeah,
will
it's
be
on the
way
business
less
side, I would
accidents.
say.
Yeah, on the business side, but they're always gonna find a way to raise it somehow. So it's either gonna be the texting, the accidents,
What day-
they're not perfect
One day
driving.
they're like, if you don't have an
You were
iPhone
speeding?
27, you're getting
no, because like what else can they track at this point?
So,
They can
here,
track how
let me-
fast we're going, 80 miles an
let
hour.
me
Okay,
challenge-
well you did that.
Let me
Yeah.
challenge that
So,
thought, and this is
they're always
just-
gonna raise
just to
something.
kind of challenge it, right? Because from my understanding, insurance premiums and all these go up because of the amount, in essence, that they have to pay. The same way that property taxes go up based on what's around.
Correct.
Correct.
So in my head, yes, if no one's texting and driving, which means 50% of accidents stop, then there should be less that you're paying as an insurance company. So therefore, you would
Right,
need less
hopefully-
to maintain your company.
Obviously, this segment went into an interest. Imagine
No,
it's an interest.
No, but that's what I'm
you're
saying.
100%
Like,
you're
so
100% right.
yes, the company
No.
still need to run, but I do think and guaranteed, if we were to look at these companies, these insurance companies'
Correct.
balance sheets, the billions and billions they get don't compare close to what they pay out.
No, and it's
None-
never going to be that.
It's never
Yeah.
gonna be.
that just makes no sense.
so
No,
my-
but that's what I'm
my-
saying.
my-
If we were to all of a sudden become safer drivers, I don't think they're gonna go out of business. Insurance premiums are still
Oh
gonna
no,
be the same.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not like they're gonna go out of it. It's more like they're gonna find a way to fuck us somehow.
yeah.
Oh, always.
That's what I'm saying.
Always.
So we can all be perfect, and they're still gonna fuck us
They're
in our
gonna
ass.
try to get
I'm just
their
saying.
money.
I'm just saying.
That's what your insurance company
No, no.
is doing.
I
You need to get somebody new.
well, shit. I mean, $10 here, $15 here, $30 here. Shit, we already have 50. Goddamn.
Basically,
No. So what I would say is this: why don't we let the cops do their fucking job? Let the cops do their job, videotape us if they catch us doing it, because I want evidence of that too, right? But as far as the insurance company, I mind to a point, because if we give them that, what else are we gonna give later? That's why I'm always
Exactly,
looking at.
speed.
Yeah,
Like you were saying.
Yeah, something. It's gonna be something. It's
Basically-
Big Brother shit to me. But either way, they're gonna pass it. They don't give a fuck about us.
basically, when it's all said and done, like we said, at this very moment in time, if you get a ticket for texting and driving, your premium won't go up. So honestly, what the police is doing, and I'm gonna say not all police, what's happening in different parts of the city, is those people that end up getting that ticket that day for texting and driving, their premiums will go up.
Yeah,
So and there's
So
proof
if you're
right
one of
there.
these listeners and this happened to
So
you,
that happened.
I'm
here
sorry.
you go.
Unless obviously there's some accident forgiveness or something.
It's
with
more
insurance,
like you deserve
But
it.
that's what was going to happen. Now, like I'm saying, this is something that they've discussed, which would be some sort of monitoring to that point where, hey, now we don't even have to wait for the ticket. Now we basically will know if you're doing this, and we could just increase it
Yeah, and then
on that end.
and to Sean's point, it will never stop if
And-
they go into
And
it.
overall, just to have an idea, yes, when the way auto insurance works is it's not based on. There's this new app that I've seen sometimes on YouTube commercials. I don't know the name of the company, where they're like, "Hey, download our app, drive for 3 weeks, and then we'll give you a premium lower than the current one that you have."
I've seen that.
I've seen it. I don't know how many people they have under it, but basically,
Not
what's-
enough.
Basically, what happens with that is because when you sign up with an auto insurance, the premium that you're getting is out of all the people they have currently in their company, how they drive, and it's just an average broken down. So you could be above or below the average. For a person that's gotten in tons of accidents, even though let's say his insurance, let's say, is a little bit more, he's actually saving, because if it was catered solely to him or her,
He'll
then
probably
it'd be
pay
a
more.
lot more. Then
No
there's
Vaseline.
Then there's a lot of people on the opposite end where you look at your premium, you're like, I haven't got an accident in 5 years.
Why did
I
I
should
pay
be
this much?
paying cents on the dollar, but because it's an average of what the total pool is, that's what happens. But to wrap that up, basically, all
Don't
I
text
wanted
and
to
drive.
before we say that text and drive, because I wanted to get that real quick. I wanted to get that feeling. Okay, so we already said that you guys get pulled over, blah blah this and that. How do you guys feel if it got to that point where there is an app, and all of a sudden you get a message that next month your insurance doubled
Double.
or 25%? How you feeling?
I don't think I'm gonna drive anymore. I'm gonna ride a fucking bike everywhere. I'm gonna be I'm in good shape in that motherfucker.
Raina, in your case, I like your answers a lot because, like I said, you don't drive much.
Yes.
So how do you
Travis
feel?
is about to
you
get busy.
You get a letter sent home, or you go through the email. All of a sudden, your
Right.
rate went. Let's say it was 300, and now it's gonna be 450 a month. And you're like, and it says reasons texting while driving. This day. How you feeling? What's the
Are you
combo
looking at your
like?
husband at this point? You're like,
I
"Bro."
don't drive the car.
You know what's funny? I'm thinking
I'll be so
automatically. like,
mad.
I'm like, they're gonna have to prove this to me in court.
Oh my
I'm
god.
automatically thinking.
We all know the chances of you
At
doing
the,
it is
at the
pretty
bottom
high.
at the bottom of the letter, they're like, show up to court, please don't drive and text while you get there.
No, I mean I think it'll be interesting to just kind of.
So
See,
I really enjoyed the episode because it brought a lot, or just the topic in the episode, because it's brought out a lot of different feelings. Even though we've all agreed that texting and driving are distractions.
Can I just do one fact though?
Yeah,
one
ahead.
fact.
Facto.
Texting and driving kills more people than drinking and driving.
it is.
I bet.
Just put that into perspective.
I bet because it's we go back to that thing that Randy said earlier, where he's like, well, you know, a drinking and driving ticket's more than a texting and driving. So a lot of people are more accessible to do this. It's because society, if you get in the car, I don't care who you are, and you're drinking, you're either thinking like, man, I shouldn't do this, or if you're like, I'm a good drinking and driving guy. But let's be completely honest, you didn't take your driving test while they handed you a bottle of Hennessy. You didn't. You probably just stopped. No. I'm saying the guy that had do your road test. He wasn't like, hey, have a sip before we drive. Loosen up. But you could have been checking.
I would have got a better score.
But you could have been checking your phone right before you take the driving test. And it's not. This doesn't feel like evil. You're like, I'm driving and I'm looking. Oh shit! Damn it!
He's like texting and podcasting is bad for Sebastian
It's
too.
bad. Listen, I can't even drive, let alone do this shit. No, I feel like I'm a decent driver, but but
it's interesting.
You guys want to wrap up some final thoughts on this thing?
We
Yes.
should also touch on the point that, like you said about the seconds earlier, I just feel like it only takes 1 second to change
Correct.
somebody's life, and it's just not worth it. Like it's
not
not worth.
Raina's like, don't
It's
drive.
not. I'm not for
Walk.
texting and driving.
So that was Raina's final thought. Final thought, Randy and Sean, please.
So, not to leave it in the negative, because we're gonna somehow bring it back to the positive, but
We're saving lives.
No,
It's
I know
always
exactly. No, but think about it.
Not
'cause
my shitty life.
what I was reading on the articles, and I think it was the Huffington Post that where I was reading all this stuff. But we're averaging now, trying to bring awareness towards it. We're averaging about 4,000 deaths a year that are related to it distracting and driving. And
Randy's
of course,
like, let's get it up to 8 because I'm texting and driving. I don't give a damn.
no, what I'm saying is, clearly that's a very high number.
That's crazy.
And out of that, they said 50% of death, like related accidents, are teenagers.
Yeah, real
Crazy.
quick touching on that, they did say, because you look at it, teen driving, at the end of the day, teen drinking. That's what I think about. You guys know that song?
Teen drinking
It
is
just made me
very
think about
bad.
it. But teen driving, basically, these are people that just barely started to drive.
Yeah.
And then they're
And
the
they
ones,
already brave.
And they're, already pulling out their cell phones driving, they get in accidents. I personally know somebody that this happened. They were texting and driving, teenager, and totaled the car not too long ago.
Okay, so when you
Sweaty.
think about it, when I was personally learning how to drive, I had that Jesus phone that Sebastian likes to call it. So even
Yo,
if I wanted
good
to try to text and drive, I gotta be like, mer, mer,
You couldn't
mer.
do
No,
that.
guys, it wasn't a religious
That-
phone.
that would be
it was
dangerous.
from
it was
Jesus'
a touch.
time.
It was a touch
It was an
screen.
ancient phone, and I had to do the whole like.
Touchscreen, but for those of you that know the difference, it was when touchscreen was by the pressure on the screen,
It
not,
wasn't by the
not the
heat.
heat. So that was
You have
years
to
ago.
press that shit with a hand Pah,
No, but
to move things.
interesting. Like you said, I mean, this is like you said, maybe people that haven't really mastered driving as a whole, and then you add the distraction of texting
Correct.
on top of it.
Well,
it
we
just-
want to go ahead and say,
deadly.
obviously, don't text and drive. Period.
No, but keep an eye on your kids.
But
I guess,
it does
or,
happen a lot. That's actually we
Good
didn't touch
conversations.
much about it, but it is something that worries parents a lot. That I was seeing that you barely get your kid driving, all of a sudden he's sending up messages. We don't have children, but maybe one day we do, and it's like, yo, I'm gonna drive, and we see the dude, the girl, texting and say, hey man, don't do that while you drive.
Or just get one of those cars
Slap 'em.
that brakes for you, and
By then, who
What?
knows?
How? Like,
there's those cars, right?
Still, yeah, there's those cars, but
What about
still,
you?
you gotta go 50
What's your
miles an
final?
hour,
What's your
which
final
would
thought with
be- My final thought.
on this whole texting and driving? Just to wrap it up.
Just don't fucking text and drive. It
Don't
ain't
do
that. It ain't that fucking.
Let's
hard.
not do it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very hard.
can we commit in this table not to fucking
Correct.
do it again?
Yeah,
ever?
but that means
I'm
that,
looking
that's
at you
accountability for everybody.
because
No.
you.
But see,
I
it's not
tried.
just
I'm not
texting and
trying
driving.
now.
It's switching the
That's what I'm saying,
songs,
distractions.
picking them. I'm like, yo, man, I'll pick the song for you. No, I got it.
I just asked
Okay.
for us to commit, but if you guys don't want to do it, then
No, correct. It's,
No, I can commit,
it's
man.
Any
That's
it's any
no
distraction.
problem. Because my Bluetooth, how my Bluetooth, is set up.
No,
I
yeah.
go like this. Oh, it's
no, that's how mine is. And
But
and it's
basically,
you just gotta
interesting.
utilize it.
Basically, we're getting down to the point where it's like you switch one song. I don't like this. I'm gonna switch a second song.
That's
You become
random.
distracted.
No, I don't touch
at
it.
that
It's on
point.
my it's
No,
on my
it's on the
steering
steering wheel.
I go like this.
Yeah. No.
It's a
What,
toggle.
about you? What's your
My final thought on everything. That obviously texting and driving is bad, but everybody has to somehow take accountability and try to stop it somehow. Like you really do.
Like
have
honk
to.
your horn when you see someone
Like,
texting.
no, that's even,
Beep, beep, beep.
but you should
Just
really-
scare 'em.
I think you
You
can.
should
You
really
can.
do
I
the
think when you
most.
pull up at the light and you're like,
I-
yo, like,
Basically, my final thought on this
He's like,
it
How the fuck
it brings
are
me
you?
back. It brings me back to an old saying. my final thought on texting and driving is something where we think, man, something small can't control your life. This is something so small that we have so much control over, but yet we give all control to this thing like the phone, right? It's like that old saying that says, a fly, is not a big of a deal. Lock yourself in a room with a fly and see how much it bugs you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You give control over to a phone.
That fly's dead.
Until when you catch it, but it'll be.
But why'd you get up and catch it? Because it was so nice and cuddly? No, because it was pissing you off. That's why you went and killed it.
I ain't catching shit. I'm killing it.
All right.
Correct.
Let's shoot it with his gun.
Guys, just don't text and drive.
But what I'm trying to say
end.
is don't text and drive. We have a lot of control over this situation, and yes, it's hard because it's just right there. It's a click away, but honestly, it could save a life. Don't text and drive.
Yeah.
That's
All
it.
right.
Good time.
So moving forward.
Yes, the next segment, for those of you guys that are new to the podcast, 3, 2, 1, is where each of us talk about something that was impactful for us this week, maybe something that we, for whatever reason, positive, negative, something that, whatever.
I like it. I want to start with Sean.
Sean's going to get it started.
Then Raina. Then Randy. Then Raina last.
Dang.
Female.
All right. Well, mine would be, this is our season finale. And we did all these weeks,
He took
all
the
these
easy
episodes.
way out.
Was it
He
6
took-
I did
months?
the easy way out. But
Yes.
but at the end, hey guys, come on. We kept doing this, and we just keep coming up with subjects, and obviously our listeners help us out with that and everything like that. And I'm just really excited for next season and what we're
Perfect.
bringing. And what
That's a
we're
good
bringing.
one. That's a good one. How about you,
Randy.
Raina?
No, it's Randy next.
Me?
Raina's last.
All right, so for me,
We're gonna let the lady speak last,
going
so
back.
she can say everything she wants to say.
Age before beauty.
Dang.
Now, I'm not a big soccer fan, and I've watched the whole Mundial or World Cup when it comes around. But this time I've been more active with it, and I guess it's just been kind of impactful how crazy it's been. It's been like anybody's game for real.
And it
It's been
brings
crazy.
people together.
And and honestly, all the teams that were expected to be in the semifinals,
They ain't
and
nowhere
final-
to be found.
Exactly, they're gone. So at this point, it's gonna be interesting to see who takes it. It could be whoever came in with little chances of taking it. So
I think at this point, because Brazil's out.
Brazil's out. Yeah,
That was crazy. Obviously, Germany's out. At this point, in Colombia, that's my team.
Mexico's out.
So I'm going to roll with England.
England,
I'm going to roll with
I
England.
think
at this
England
point.
has the momentum, but
yeah, I think
And they weren't supposed to be
you know
nowhere
what?
near this.
I'm gonna go
Belgium-
Belgium.
Belgium's
I'm gonna
strong
go with
too,
Belgium
though.
on this
I'm
one.
going to go with England just because I know some people from
What do you
out
think,
that
Raina?
ways.
I'll go with Belgium waffles.
Perfect.
Oh.
So that was your final thought on that? Or
Yes.
Okay, so my 3, 2, 1 was the fact that it was Sebastian's birthday recently.
Oh.
And we all got together. It's been a while since we all
was
got
fun.
together as a group of friends, so it was a pretty good time. And
I like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yes, no, pretty interesting stuff.
Grateful for everything.
Pew,
So-
pew, pew.
So next, and this is not the last thing we're gonna do because we got some shout outs for our people. That
Our
always,
last segment basically is going to
But
be
the people's
People's Note. And Raina, let everybody know what the People's Note is, please.
yes, everyone. So the People's Note is our version of the quote of the day. So for today, it is: "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily."
Stop texting and driving.
Stop texting and driving.
I
Yes.
like that. You'll never change your life to do something.
You'll probably get to
daily.
work on time for that fucking job
Perfect.
and get that
I like
promotion.
that.
Yes,
So-
and to wrap it up, I'm gonna say it right now on air. AT&T, any of these phone companies, if you guys want to team up and we can do something, we are very cheap when it comes to sponsoring.
We are very
We'll
cheap.
do it for
Throw us anything.
He said free service. Perfect.
Anyways, no,
So-
but
So basically, right now, we just want to thank everybody. Obviously, we're gonna do some shout outs, but beforehand, we want to talk about this is the end of the season, so it was a lot of fun. I would say, took this as a learning experience to see what works, what not. Got some good feedback from people, and we want to go ahead and make things even better for season 2 rolling in. So we want to be more interactive with the people that listen, and and grow this and grow the following. What we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway on our first episode of season 2, which we will announce the rules to it, and we will announce when season 2 starts. I believe that we'll do this episode the day this episode comes out. The following day, we'll have the rules to the
So make sure you follow us.
to the what's it called to the giveaway.
to the giveaway. So check it out on our social media.
Now, is this giveaway going to have anything to do with the money?
Of course, there's gonna be some money.
So basically, it's gonna be a nice, fun giveaway. We're gonna give you the rules. It's gonna be interactive. You're gonna have to do something along the lines of donating money to us. No, it's gonna be something where let your friends know
A GoFundMe.
we really want to grow. That's the ultimate goal right here. The plan. So just really excited, obviously, to be able to do a whole season, 20 plus episodes, and then
We're like Law and Order.
for real, and then going into a second season, that's the goal. And then
No, but yeah, so next season's going to be pretty interesting, but stay tuned on Instagram, Great People Podcast. Follow us anywhere,
Correct.
we're on Facebook, Twitter. On Twitter is Great PPL Podcast or Great People Podcast. But then, if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, comment, share it. But yeah, we're going to post the rules for the giveaway on Instagram.
You'll see it,
right
yeah.
after we post this episode 24, the season finale. And
Perfect.
then, so when we come into the next season, we got a lot of good things planned. We got a lot of, I don't know, like a good vision, a good plan for what this next season
that's a good way to put it. A good
So,
vision, a good plan. So yeah, leaving it on that note, want to thank everybody that listens to the show.
Thank you if
Anybody
you've
that's
been
given us
listening.
some
All of our
feedback.
special guests.
Anybody that's been a special guest,
Or
anybody that's
anybody that
helped
listened
out.
from like episode 1 to episode 24, we thank you.
Shit, if you listen to half episode, man.
Yes.
No, anybody that's been part of the show, anybody that has been a guest, anybody that's helped out, any idea, anything, we really thank you, because at the end of the day, we wouldn't have thought 6 months ago we would have been at this point, and then we'll see a year from now how everything is. So
Yeah, so
I think
more to
this
come.
shout out to my mom.
This
I love you,
deserves an
Mom.
applause.
no applause.
24 episodes.
I wanna
The noise,
huh?
huh?
input the
Oh, okay. Wow. Can
Okay,
I-
so
I would say hi to my mom, but
you can
Wow.
so that's what's up.
sign it. She'll get it when she watches the video.
oh
too.
yeah, I don't want her.
She'll watch
I
it
don't want
for-
her reading my lips on this show.
No, for real. No,
All right,
anyways,
well, on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in. We're signing off.
thank you again. Thanks for all the love. We appreciate it. Thanks for always tuning in. We appreciate all of you great people out there, and that's what we're here for. So let's just look forward to the next episode, next season. Because I'm crazy.
This episode next season.
Cut.